Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. In this episode of Cycling Insider, I want to talk about some new bikes from Trek. Their 2020 lineup is out, and there's definitely some interesting models from the big T, from the big Trek. But before we dive in, I just want to say that yes, I am aware that it's been a while since I made some videos, but as you all know, for the last 21 days it has been the season of Tour de France, the most important grand tour of the season, and every summer for the 21 days in July I'm always glued to the TV and following all the statistics and all the numbers behind the tour and checking out what's the newest equipment that the pros are riding. By the way, the noise that you kind of hear in the background is that we have some works going on in the neighborhood, so I apologize in advance. I hope it won't bother us too much. So, just one more thing about the tour this year. In my opinion, one of the best tours in the last few years. Egan Bernal, absolutely respect, 22-year-old kid who has just won his first Grand Tour, and I expect him to win all 3 Grand Tours in the next, I would say, 5 to 7 years. He'll have it all. Absolutely great talent, and I just hope that this tour victory at such a young age kind of won't spoil him, and he will still be focused on racing and winning more Grand Tours. So, without further ado, as I said, let's talk about the 2020 models from Trek. This time I want to focus on the Trek Emonda range, and specifically SL6 Disc Pro version. So, if you check on the Trek's website, I'm on the Trek's USA website, you got a SL6 Disc Pro version and kind of the normal SL6. And the price difference is about $850, but the Pro version of SL6 Emonda comes with a carbon fiber wheelset. That's why in this video I'm going to be focusing on the Pro version, because I think it's a very interesting offering from Trek. So Emonda SL6 Disc Pro for 2020 from Trek currently costs $4,000 on their website. But as I always say, this is kind of the desired price from Trek, and I always believe that you should negotiate with all your local dealers, and if everything is fine, I think you should be able to get something like 15 to 20% discount on this price. So when I look at the paint scheme of this SL6 Disc Pro, I gotta say it's just a classic, in my opinion, boring black and white. But on the other hand, when you look at the normal SL6, it's got this beautiful radioactive red color. I don't know why on the Pro version they only offered one boring black and white color, but as always, paint schemes are a personal preference, so maybe somebody will like it. But the most important things are to check the specs of this bike. So as I said, $4,000, but let's see what it offers for $4,000. First thing first, we got a frame and fork. So it's the Trek's carbon fiber OCLV 500 frame and fork, so full carbon fiber. This is not the top of the range of the Trek's frames and forks, but there's no need to be worried. Trek definitely produces top of the range carbon fiber frames and forks, and as always, Big T gives you a lifetime warranty. This frame is ready for the true axles, front and back, 12mm true axles. And they are proudly displaying this on their website, which is now definitely a standard. Moving on to the wheel set, this is what I was talking about. Here Trek offers a carbon fiber wheel set from their Bontrager in-house manufacturing. So Bontrager Eolus Pro 3 OCLV carbon wheel set. And this one is the 35mm rim depth, and again 12mm true axles, both front and back. And also there's a Shimano's 11-speed free hub on the rear wheel. I'm guessing the front wheel's hub is the Bontrager's own product, and I hope they still use the DT Swiss parts for that, but don't hold me on that. You should definitely speak with your local Trek dealer just to double check who makes the hubs on this carbon fiber wheelset. Tires are again in-house Bontrager 28C tires. This is very nice to see from Trek, because the Emonda range from Trek is their lightest climbing bikes, and I personally like them a lot. I think Trek has done a good job with this lineup of Emonda bikes, so definitely one of my favorites in the Trek lineup. Moving on to the drivetrain, we got a shifters which is Shimano's Ultegra R8025. That's a mechanical Shimano Ultegra group set, 11 speed. Front mech is Shimano Ultegra mechanical, rear mech is also Shimano Ultegra mechanical, short cage, which can take 30 tooth maximum, so just keep that in mind. Cranksets are again Shimano's Ultegra R8000. It's a compact crankset, as Trek says, 50-34. And now I've started noticing that depending on the size of the frame, the length of the crankset will be changed slightly. So if you are riding, for example, a 58, it's going to be 175 millimeters crank length. Cassette and chain are both Shimano Ultegra. So the cassette is Shimano's Ultegra 1128. Definitely more than enough to climb any steep mountains, considering that you got on front 50-34. So again, 11 speed cassette, and the chain is the Shimano's Ultegra HG701, 11 speed Shimano Ultegra chain, so no cutting corners here, which I like. Usually you'll notice that on a cassette and a chain, some manufacturers can kind of cut corners. Saddle is the, again, in-house Bontrager production, nothing special with that. As always, if you don't like the saddle, that's definitely an easiest part to replace. Seat post, we got a carbon fiber seat post, which I definitely like. And again, depending on the size of the frame, the length of the seat post will be changed. Handlebars are a classic alloy handlebars, nothing special to add here. They can go up to, I see, 44 centimeters in width, again, depending on the size of your frame. So Trek is kind of making lots of parts depending on the frame size, which is definitely nice to see. Stem, again, classical alu stem, nothing special here from the Bontrager line, Bontrager Pro line. Again, different lengths of the stem depending on the size of your frame. Headset is the FSA headset, nothing to complain there, FSA, a brilliant company. And the total weight of this bike in size 56, which is very nice from Trek to give a 56 size weight, is 7.86 kilograms. So, just to keep it in perspective, professional bikes of the pro riders in the World Tour are limited to 6.8 kilograms. So 7.8 kilograms for this off-the-shelf bike, which costs $4,000 I consider a very, very interesting offer. And definitely the highlight is the carbon fiber wheel set that you get on this bike. So all in all, just to summarize, Emonda SL6 Disc Pro for 2020 from the Big T, from the Big Trek, is definitely a very interesting bike for around $4,000. As I always say, you should definitely negotiate the price a bit down. But the highlights definitely include Trek's OCL V500 carbon fiber frame and fork. We got a full Shimano Ultegra mechanical group set, so from the shifters, front mech, rear mech, cassette, chain rings, everything is top class Ultegra. Also we got hydraulic disc brakes from Shimano Ultegra. They don't mention here, is it 160mm rotors front and back? And I truly hope they are. I'm just looking at some photos to try to zoom in, and I think the front one definitely is 160, so I hope they didn't cut corners here. And of course, one of the highlights is the carbon fiber wheel set from Bontrager. So it's a 35mm deep wheel set with 28mm tires, absolutely beautiful. And you got a carbon fiber seat post, again, to soak up a bit of road bumps. All in all, a very interesting bike. If you got an opportunity, book a session with your local Trek dealer to get some time on this bike. And if you are in the position to buy a bike for around $4,000, definitely consider this one. So I think this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, please do subscribe and press all the buttons that YouTube wants you to press, the bells and whatever they have, so you can follow my channel, because I'll be making more and more of these videos for the 2020 season of the bikes. And as always, I will see you soon in the new episode. Pura Vida!